So GoPro managed with the Hero 10 to downgrade the camera from the Hero 9 for specific purposes. How they managed to do that, I don't know. I mean, it was bad enough that they moved the HDMI to the media mod between the Hero 7 and Hero 8, and now the connector for the HDMI is at the back of the camera, which is if you mount the camera on a chesty mount or things like that, then the cables stick into your chest, which is just silly. Anyhow, in three iterations of the camera, you'd think they would have fixed that, but no. Either way, form or shape, what has happened with the Hero 10 now is that, according to this chart that's on the screen here, what you can see is that 1080p, 60 FPS, you should be able to get 1080p at idle, but you also should get 1080p at while encoding, so recording or streaming on the HDMI port. So, and that has been the case with the Hero 8. That has been the case with the Hero 9. It is not the case with the Hero 10, which makes absolutely no sense since the Hero 10 got a new CPU and should have more CPU resources as part of that. But I'm going to show now, for support purposes and to highlight this problem, that basically what happens with the Hero 10 is it drops to 480. It doesn't drop to 720. It drops down to 480, all the way down there, and that's just not good enough. So either way, form or shape, we are starting with the Hero 9 battery, media mod. Yeah, the other thing, not only moving the HDMI to the back, but also not being able to have a clean HDMI is pretty silly. Yeah, well, you can have it, but you have to go through a whole lot of menus to get to it. Now that obviously is fixed in lab firmware, but that was a simple setting in a Hero 7 Black. I mean, how could somebody get that wrong? People do want clean HDMI. They use clean HDMI on the GoPro. Either way, form or shape, we are clicking this in here. Oh, sorry, I should fire the camera up first. That might be a good plan. So this is the Hero 9 Black. Okay, camera's on. Great. This in. Yeah, and as you can see on the screen, what we have here is that it's 1080p 59, which is exactly what I would have expected. So in linear mode, wait for the camera to connect now. Okay, so I'll start the recording. It resets the HDMI, but while we're recording, the resolution of the HDMI output is 1080p 59. That's exactly as expected from the chart, and that's the same thing on the Hero 8. Stop this again. And as you can see on the phone, it's 1080p 60 linear. So disconnect the Hero 9. and put it away. Hero 10. Battery. This has the lab firmware on it right now, and I'm going to upgrade it also afterwards and show that this also happens with the newest firmware that was just launched today or yesterday. So, Hero 10 turns on. HDMI. And as you can see, 1080p 59. That's what I would expect. Now, record, HDMI resets, wait a little more, wait a little more, wait a little more. Oh no, actually, yeah, you can see at the top. Sometimes the Camlink doesn't reset right, but you can see at the top it's 480p 30. So I'll reset the Camlink and see if we can get this going. That's the other thing. It does funky things to the Camlink. Okay. But yeah, 480p. Cancel. Shut this down. Camlink back in. Fire it back up. HDMI back in. And there you go. And as you can see, both here and both here, 480p 60. That's not what's in the spec sheet. And that's not what happens with the Hero 8 or Hero 9. Stop recording. And let's reset the Camlink again. I don't know what they're doing there. This also happens with the AverMedia capture card, so this is not in a Camlink problem. 480p is on all Hero 10s when you record. So, see. So if I go and I'll restart all of this again. Unplugging. Plug this back in. And then start the Camlink again. Yeah, no, it hasn't reset, but it is 1080p 30, which is why is that? Why does it do funny things? It should be 1080p 60. Should not be 1080p 30. That's the capture actually. It's 1080p 30, but that's okay. So the source is 1080p 59, yeah. So that's back here. So and I can confirm that again. I load the So this is the update. We will install that shortly. So again, 1080p 60L, as you can see in the bottom. Start the recording again. Resets. 480p 60. Why? Every single time. Back to 1080p 60. The hanging the Camlink up, that's not every time, but it's a regular enough issue. So okay, so Grant, what we do is we'll go and we will let's see here. If I go back in, update the camera, accept and continue. In the meanwhile, I will unplug the HDMI for good measure. And we wait for this to upgrade. That way around. And I have done this previously. I have upgraded to the latest firmware. I have downgraded again to the lab firmware manually using the SD card. So that's not it. It is definitely not the HDMI cable. I had a discussion today with GoPro support where the first thing suggested was the HDMI cable, which makes absolutely no sense when 1080p 60 works fine in idle mode. So if it can do it at idle mode, then it can also do it in encoding mode. The cable has no implications at that point. So that's basically the next thing was suggested was to install the firmware manually, but I've done that too already with the lab firmware. That's manual install from fresh. And the thing is, like, I have confirmed this with 3 other Hero 10 owners who have the exact same problem. So this is a bug. Or an undocumented feature, which is basically a downgrade from the Hero 9 and the Hero 8. Upgrade is complete. There we go. So that's new video performance mode. Yeah, whatever. So what we'll do is we'll the app hasn't quite caught on to this yet, but no, got it. Back in. In the meanwhile, while that connects, I'll reconnect the HDMI. Now we're back to the silliness where you can't get clean HDMI unless you go through a whole pile of menus, which is absolute nonsense. And obviously I have to go and back in here and do this again. That's also normal. as you can see, at the moment, 1080p 59. Whenever this app decides to load, I might have to restart the app entirely. I tried once more and then I'll restart the app. Come on, camera. Yeah, this is just terrible. So anyhow, so we'll just hang on. I'll just yeah. Hopefully that does the trick now. Otherwise I will have to restart the camera again. Restart the camera. Another downgrade that came with the 9 and also is on the 10 is that once you start recording with the HDMI plugged in, you don't get preview at all. I assumed in the 9 that was because there wasn't enough CPU resources, but with the upgraded CPU that should be possible again. But seemingly it's not. Oh, there we go. Right. So, HDMI cable in. Yeah, as you can see, preview is not supported. That was something that was possible in the Hero 7. It was possible in the Hero 8, if I could recall correctly. It hasn't been possible since the Hero 9. Okay, so we at 1080p 59. Hit record. Camlink resets. And it's gone haywire, so but it has dropped to 480. Yeah, as you can see, 480p 60. Reset the cam link again. As you can see, as it's not recording, it's back to 1080p 59. Starting recording again. Oh yeah, it has reset again, so. Or 80p 60. Every single time. And it has fully reset the HDMI again, which means I need to unplug the cable again. That was not enough. It was still not enough. Restart the application. Whatever the GoPro is doing to the HDMI is not good for capture cards. At all. Hang on. So we're back at 1080p 59. And we have to maneuver through the stupid menus again to get the clean feed. So, GoPro, this needs to be fixed. Like, one thing is that you can't set HDMI to be a clean feed as a setting in the menu. It was removed from the Hero 8 and onwards. I know it can be done in the lab firmware with the QR code, but that should be a setting in the camera in the standard production firmware. It's like it's the simplest feature in every camera, and you removed it for whatever reason. The other thing is dropping the HDMI port, HDMI output 480p 60 when recording on 1080p 60 on the camera makes no sense, and also is not like if you look at your own sheet with resolutions says that shouldn't be the case. So please get this sorted.